Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue our journey with Nicole and Azan. Let's get to the show.
So how much money have you been sending him? Do you know? Do you know how many thousands of dollars you sent him?
I'm not saying anything.
No, that you're refusing to say it because you know that you've been sending him money.
I know that it's no one's business how much I send. I think what happens financially between me and Azan is our business, and it's not to be spoken of.
You were stupid to even do something like this.
So, yikes, there's that language again. You are stupid. You are ignorant. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? It's okay to have anxiety. It's okay to worry. It's okay to be concerned.
You know it's true. All he's doing is milking you for money. Every bit cent he can get.
I don't even have any money.
It's just upsetting to watch such hurtful language, really. If I were there, I'd be like, okay, let's slow down. Let's get back to those feelings. Stepdad, how are you feeling right now? Well, I'm upset. Okay, let's drill down on that. I don't think we need to put her down. Stick to your own feelings. Speak from that place. And then he would say something like, well, I'm afraid for you, and I'm afraid for my granddaughter, and I don't know what's happening, and I don't trust this guy. Okay, that's good. You're speaking from your own place. Let's talk about that. Let's see if we can understand each other in that way. And then I would encourage Nicole to hear her stepdad and to understand, have compassion for him. And then Nicole might say something like, Stepdad, I am on your side as well, and I understand. And you don't know him the way I do. I like the fact that you care about me and May. That's good. But you're going to have to trust me on this, that once you get to know him, I'm guessing he'll win you over. I don't know, just something along those lines. Instead of the way this conversation just always goes, it's just, you just see the repetitive nature and the way this family interacts. It's hard to watch for me, honestly, because as a family therapist, I just want to get in there and be like, ugh.
Yeah, well, you sent him thousands of dollars already, so.
She's trying to buy his affection. That's what she's trying to do. It's pure and simple, and it's not going to work. From what I've seen of him and her together, there's no affection there at all.
I hope he's for real.
Okay, so this is interesting. Now that the stepdad is expressing all those real harsh views that are putting Nicole down, the mom is now free in the family system to express something different because someone else is playing that role of the person who puts Nicole down. And now mom is free to say, like, I really hope that he's for real. So you see how family systems operate. There's always something that needs, when you have undifferentiation and fusion, someone always has to play a certain role. There always has to be, like, in this family, we've seen the role of the Nicole person, the irresponsible person who digs their heels in and doesn't listen to reason. And then the person who puts Nicole down and really hammers on her. And then maybe someone who understands Nicole or plays in between. The person who hammers on Nicole has been played by the mom, but the mom doesn't have to play that role right now because the stepdad is playing that role. We've seen the younger brother play that role. And we've seen various different ways this family operates. And I always try to bring it back to, we all have needs. And I think most of us can understand and intuit what all of our emotional needs are. We have a need for love, acceptance, praise, attachment security, respect, people thinking that we're competent, people being proud of us, people giving us freedom, people being there for us, people being concerned for us. We have those attachment needs, those emotional needs. When families have tension and traumas and resentments and hurts and griefs that haven't been resolved, that interferes with the ability to notice your own needs, to express them, and to have other people meet those needs. Right now, Nicole has a lot of needs. She has a need to be heard, and she has a need for romance and attachment, romantic attachment. She has a need for respect from her parents. So there's all these needs. How does she know those needs? How does she express them? The mom has a need for love and security and being able to know that she is doing a good job as a mom raising an adult 24-year-old daughter. She has a need for her granddaughter to be safe. She also has a need for wanting her daughter and her to have a good relationship. The stepfather has needs too. He wants to be respected. He wants to be involved. He wants to be heard. He wants to be understood. He has worries, for daughter. He has worries for granddaughter. Everyone has all these needs. And sometimes they conflict, because the parents' need for the granddaughter to have a very safe, predictable life interferes with Nicole's need to be with Azan, which is her need for attachment and romance. Those things are in opposition. And when a family can recognize that and say, okay, how do we get our needs met even though there's this conflict? A lot of times what undifferentiated families will do is they'll focus on this and disregard all the context. And they'll fight and they'll fight and they'll fight and they'll put down and they'll put down. And then something happens and there's an explosion and then there's distance and there's cutoff. I wouldn't be surprised, and maybe y'all know because you've watched ahead, that at some point Nicole just cuts herself off from her family because they're so antagonistic to her needs. At some point it would make sense that Nicole and Azan might just be like, well, we're done with them because they are negative to us, they're against us. They are constantly not letting us get our needs met. They're completely convinced of something that they don't know anything about. And then where are you as a family? So then everyone loses because everyone has a need for closeness. Everyone has a need for love. And I understand it gets messy. Families are messy. And when you're involved in each other's lives, it gets messy. And they're all trying, which is great. One of the things that I would actually lament about when I would see a family is when they were on the other side of the spectrum from this, where they just didn't seem to care about what other people were doing. I would be even more concerned if the stepdad and the mom were to be like, oh, okay, well, she's moving to Morocco and taking our granddaughter with her and, well, whatever, moving on in life. I'd be more concerned about that, honestly. That wouldn't be conflictual, but it would be very cold, not knowing each other's needs. So I would want to use this momentum that they have. They care, they're trying, they're putting effort into it. I'd want to use that to bond them so that they can actually help her, influence her, instead of pushing her away and risking a cutoff.
I pray he's for real.
All right.
This is a mistake. I am not very thrilled with the idea of Nicole and May being gone for so long. She's bent on doing what she wants to do, and at this point, what she wants to do is get over there and marry Azan. If I beg you to not go, don't take my grandbaby away. Don't take my baby away.
Stop. She's my daughter. You have to remember that.
And you're my...
Because stepdad has expressed all of those aggressive, angry put-downs towards Nicole, the mom is now exhibiting a dynamic which is much more healthy. The mom is like, I beg you, don't take my granddaughter away from me. Don't move to Morocco for a long time. It would tear me apart. That's owning your own feelings. That's asking. That's not putting Nicole down. You notice as the mom is doing this isn't putting Nicole down. This isn't making her feel incompetent and stupid. This is just saying, these are my needs. Can you please recognize them? I'm begging you, please don't do that. It's very functional. It's wonderful that the grandma cares about granddaughter. You want those kinds of feelings. And so I'm worried that the mom will start getting into put downs, but you see how family systems operate, that we like to think of ourselves as operating from our own motivations, but often we're affected by the system that we're in. If the stepfather wasn't there right now, I'm guessing that the mom would be more in line with what we've seen in the past, which is put downs and over-functioning and domineering behavior. But because the stepdad is playing that role, that frees the mom up to have a more nuanced approach to Nicole.
My baby.
I know that.
I can't help but to keep thinking that this could blow up and that it's all a scam. It could just all be a scam. I hope it's not. I can't help but to feel that way.
I'm be anxious to see what happens in Morocco. See if he goes through with the wedding.
So the stepdad is the same as everyone else. When you get him away from the conflict and the emotional enmeshment that's happening in the restaurant, you interview him outside, he is more differentiated. He's like, I'm just really anxious. Yeah, good. Makes sense. It's good that you're anxious. It means you care. But the put downs, those are reactions from your fears. Let's go back to the fears and express that, own that. Let's not transform the fear.
Huh? I don't know. What voice recordings? Well, I don't know what it is. I've never heard any recordings.
Okay, so I don't know if you caught that, but a friend called during the interview and said to Nicole that there are some audio recordings of Azan. Let's continue watching.
Nicole?
Good morning. I'm so sleepy. But I guess, I don't know. The kiss was good. What did you get the dream about last night? I think you want it.
Get out. Get out.
Nicole?
I need to talk to Azan.
So it's always troubling to me when these people are going through a very difficult moment and they draw a line with the producers and the cameras, and they're just like, I don't want the cameras to be around right now. This is too difficult for me. I understand the producers are like, oh my God, this is reality TV show gold. Come on, give us some material. Please be on camera. But I think what they're doing right now is they are putting their foot in the door of a bathroom, by the way, and not letting Nicole be on her own. I just can't imagine that being in the contract, that they can physically bar you from gaining any kind of privacy. It doesn't bode well with me. I mean, maybe that is in the contract, but it just doesn't seem right.
Why are there recordings of your voice talking to another person online? There are recordings. It's your voice of you talking to other women. It's undescribably your voice. Do you think that's okay? You can call a girl saying that I want to kiss you? That I missed your kiss?
All right, so we don't know what happened. Could be him cheating on her, which is awful if that's true. Could be that they were recordings made under other circumstances or even before he even met her. We'll reserve judgment until we get more data.
It hurts. It hurts me. Is that funny? But I need you to explain this to me because I don't understand. As in, it's not fair to me.
I want you to stop crying. I want you to explain.
Okay, explain. So you let your friends talk you into calling another girl, and you think it's okay because they made you? I thought you were committed to me.
So what we're hearing is that Azan is saying that the recording was because his friends put him up to it and it was a joke. That doesn't sound very credible. It's possible, but it doesn't sound like a very believable story.
Okay, so Nicole, what happened?
His friends thought it was funny that when they were drunk to call and leave message for girls. I'm still going to Morocco.
All right, it's possible. It's hard to know. It certainly sounds suspicious, but it's possible it was as Azan says it was, that it was an innocent prank that he was calling it. It sounds like a weird prank, but it's possible. There's just too much unknown at this point.
I heard the messages. It's in English. I heard everything that you said. Why would you talk to any other woman about kissing than me?
I just left those voice messages for other women. Just I thought it's like it's a funny thing while my friends is there. Honestly, I didn't thought that Nicole could ever find this stuff. I didn't think it's that big deal,
I told you that I was just drunk before when I was explaining.
But when I'm drunk, I don't call guys.
All right, so he's sticking with his story, and it's possible that that's what happened. It kind of sounded like that, honestly, when you hear the recordings. It kind of sounds like it's a prank, but it obviously is a possibility that he was cheating and that someone had evidence against him. But it's just hard to tell.
You said you don't know these women, but Where did you get the numbers to call them?
It's just like in social media that it's easy to get this number.
So you just went in there to look for a woman to...
That's what we do, like we try to make something funny.
Funny to who?
To me and my friends.
What about me?
I know it's not funny to Nicole. I know it's not funny. I know it's not funny, it just... I can't believe that I did all this stuff and I'm really sorry.
So I think we're seeing a different side of Azan that we haven't seen. Thus far, he's been kind of blank often, at least to my eyes. And now we're seeing a playful side to him, I guess, an immature side to him, a childish or youthful side to him. I don't know what we're seeing. It's an interesting side.
Are you committed to me? Like, to us and our marriage?
Look, I didn't get the visa, you know that, okay? And even after that, I still want to marry you. That's why I want you just to forget what happened, and I'm sure that I just need just one more chance, that's all.
I know that I made mistakes in the past, but I know that we have worked past a lot since then. But I just hope that everything that we've been working on has been something true.
So whenever I see these kinds of interactions where someone is suspected of cheating, like in the Darcy and Stacy show with Florian, just as a viewer, not as a therapist, but as a viewer, what I'm looking for is more explanation, the broader story. If he actually got his friends to come to lunch and say, listen to us tell the story. This is what happened. We got drunk, and sometimes we do prank calls. We've been doing that for years. It's stupid. It's dumb. Sometimes we call and we do this. Sometimes we call and we do this. And then this one time, we just thought it would be hilarious if I called people. And, I'm a famous person in Morocco because I have this TV show and my voice is kind of recognizable. And I thought it'd be hilarious if people woke up in the morning and found a voicemail of the famous Azan in Morocco leaving a message. I don't know. Obviously, I'm just making this up. But some kind of story, explanation, details to flesh it out a little bit, other than to say, we were just playing a prank and that's all we got. Like it doesn't help me as a viewer to trust what's really happening. Now, why would someone leave out the details? Well, they might have left it off of the show. They edit this. They might be lying, and that's why they don't have the details, because when you lie, you don't have details because you have to make up all the details. Or you're just kind of a closed person, you're a private person or a shamed person, or you don't really intuit that other people need those details to help them feel better. Sky's the limit in terms of the options.
I know that you gave me a second chance before, and I want to give you a second chance, but nothing else can happen because I don't know if I can take more. And even when you're out, you have to think of me.
If I want to go somewhere out at night, I will ask you to come. Okay, if you don't want to go, I'll stay.
And we should leave our phones, my phone too, both our phones open.
So this is a pretty good infidelity recovery conversation. It's not necessarily infidelity, but it feels like that. There's trust that needs to be built back up. And Nicole isn't screaming. She's not accusing. She's just saying, I need you to prove to me that you're dedicated to me because that's what's being threatened right now. And Azan isn't getting defensive. He's listening. He's being nice. He says, here, look at my phone. And then he says, look, if I go out while you're here, I'll bring you with me. I don't want to go out without you. So you can trust me in that way. I don't have any interest in being without you. I don't have any interest in being with other people away from you. And if you don't want to go out, I'll just stay home. Those kinds of things definitely will help to rebuild trust. So, this is a messy situation, but they're navigating it pretty well.
So, there's nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide.
You already know my password, so...
Just promise me. Marriage is everything to me. Marriage is not try it out with you and see if it works, and if not, then we just get divorced. I've had divorce happen in my family, and I want it to be a forever thing. I want to love one person.
I'm sure that we'll be happy and things will be different. I know that. We can't change what happened. Just let's try to change what will happen next.
All right, well, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle, in which we watch 90 Day Fiancé and I react to it, and you comment below on my, you essentially in the comments are doing a reaction to my reaction to this TV show. And then I read your comments and I react to that. So it's a full circle ecology of reactions. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.